banks of the Delaware River, we're nestled inside Talent Energy Stadium as the Philadelphia Union kick off a three-game homestand against their Eastern Conference foe, New York City FC. And welcome to Union Pregame Live. I'm Dave Leno.
And I'm Marissa Pillett. Dave, here at Talent Energy Stadium, Jim Curtin made a big point to make it a tough place for opponents to come and play, and it has been so far for the Union. They are undefeated at home, while NYCFC are winless on the road. With a win today, the Union can secure a franchise record in home winning streaks with 5 games.
New York City FC sporting director Claudio Reyna opted for a change, got rid of Jason Price last year, instead has instituted Patrick Vieira, who's heading a terrific club, who has a 4-3-3, even though they're 1-2-3 on the record, winless in their last 5. The Union, on the flip side, Marissa, have lost all of their games on the road, including the last one at Seattle, but indisputably, they were the better team in the first half.
For sure, we saw them come out with such fire early in the game, but Seattle had their own opportunities. Here we see in the 17th minute, Morris with an attempt, but Andre Blake always there, making a great save. Dempsey even has to give him a solid there. Another attempt for the Sounders, but Andre is able to tip it up and recover, keep it above that white line. But they got a goal right here on this corner from Chad Marshall, a header off of a corner kick, and he is so dynamic in the box, and we just saw how crazy he can be. But this save, this was my favorite save of the game. No one could believe Andre even got a piece of this, but this is where the game took a turn. This is when Roland Albert got his second yellow card of the game, which resulted in a red. That was in the 53rd minute, and from there on out, the Union had to play with 10 men. Another opportunity for the Sounders. Here is Even Shitz. He just taps it right past Andre. Jordan Morris taps it right past Andre, but Fabinho comes back with a great cross. CJ tees up Sebastian Letou, who cramps up at the end, but does secure his 50th goal for the Union.
The Union won in possession, passing accuracy, and duels, even with the man down in the latter half of the game. Philadelphia pressured that attacking third with its high press and had 7 quarters to the Sounders 3, not to mention 7 saves from Union goalkeeper Andre Blake. Here's a look at the Eastern Conference standings. The Union sit in second place, 3 points behind Montreal, who is hosting Toronto FC at the top of the hour. New York City FC is sandwiched in 6th, just above the red line. It has allowed 10 goals this year, which is tied for second worst in the East. But Marissa, the Philadelphia Union have been atop the Eastern Conference standings, largely due to the stellar play of Andre Blake.
Well, we've seen it week in and week out. 25 saves this season, tied for 5th in the league right now, 78 save percentage. For more on Andre Blake, we're going to bring in our resident goalkeeper, Peter Pappas. Peter, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure, guys.
Well, Jim Curtin said earlier this week that what we've seen from Andre Blake is no fluke. He really is that talented. What makes him such a great goalkeeper?
Marissa, it's athleticism. Listen, I was a professional goalkeeper for 15 years. I won a couple of titles, had some individual awards. I see Andre Blake make some of those saves he makes, and I feel incredibly average. This guy is just out of this world when it comes to his athleticism. Just so quick getting down. He's got great lateral movement. We always knew he's going to be a good shot stopper, but we didn't think it was going to be this good. And the save that you referred to earlier on Evenshitz, this one right here, absolutely out of this world. Just the reaction, the ability to read where it's going, and just the whereabouts to get the proper left hand on that ball. He's playing out of his mind, and he's really the reason why the Union are in such a good position right now in the Eastern Conference.
Peter, how did Blake do with Josh Yoro making the start and right center back in place for the injured Ken Tribbett?
I think it was great. I think the one thing Andre probably had to think about was maybe a little more communication for Josh. Here's a guy playing in front of 39,000 people in Seattle against Clint Dempsey in his first MLS start. There's a guy you're going to have to settle down a little bit at times and talk to a bit more. It helped that Josh had his college teammate, Keegan Rosenberry, to his right, and a guy like Richie Marquez that also pretty good at being vocal to his left. So Josh did great, and I think the back 5 really did a great job last week in Seattle.
Peter, where do you see that Andre has a little room for improvement? Obviously, he has done stellar so far, but where do you think he can improve?
Well, it's just reading the game and getting that game experience. He's still such a young guy. Goalkeepers don't typically peak till they're in their late 20s, around 30 years old. So he's got a lot of time. But one of the aspects of his game that I know he wants to work on, they've been working with his goalkeeper coach, Oka Nikolov, is his ability to play with his feet and kicking the ball, clearing the lines. It seems something minor, but very important to a team's shape at times.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Peter. Always great to get your insights.
You got it, guys.
Well, there's another exciting team in the area. Of course, you know very well Bethlehem Steel. Dave Leno is the voice of Bethlehem Steel, and they just recorded their first home win in franchise history.
And it was terrific, Marissa, last week because they were coming off of a 4-0 loss at New York Red Bulls, too. Brendan Burke has been doing a terrific job, along with John McCarthy, who made 11 starts for the Union last year again. Ownby was pressuring that attacking third often, and McCarthy and his defense, along with Trusty, came up big on the back line as well. But the Union pressured Ryan Taylor, too, for Richmond, who has made the playoffs 5 consecutive times in the USL. Now we start the scoring with Cole Misimo, a draft pick for the Union out of Northwestern. Hits Eric Ayuk, a first-team signee, and Ayuk nails his second goal of the year. We fast forward to the 46th minute. Ayuk with a beautiful tackle on Michael Callahan and dishes it off to Derek Jones, top of the box. Goes to the right of Ryan Taylor. That's Jones' first professional goal. Nice to see out of the former Union Academy player. And then Uday Imura, 3 goals, a Japanese product, has been sensational, especially with his volleys for the Richmond Kickers. And here comes a set piece, but McCarthy coming up huge again as Roberts came in and tried to put the header down. I will be joined by Matt Castle as well tomorrow for that matchup against Charleston Battery. Speaking of first-team needs, our very own JP Delacamera caught up with Jim Curtin earlier today. That interview and more as our pregame show rolls on from Chester.